can take. I don't know. He will call me afterwards. He will call me. Yes, he will after you finish. He want me to auto. Yeah. Yes, no worry. His name is Leslie. He's inside. I met him in Las Vegas. I told him I'm coming here for a lecture. He said, if you want, you can join. Yeah, so he came, you know. Yeah.
All our slides from Japan is gone. Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir. Ah, fantastic. How are you? Super, super, super. All right.
Wow. Thank you.
Go ahead. Take their picture. You have some questions? How are you online there? I'd like to hear you. I'd like to hear, here they are.
Wow, there's a lot of them. How many are they?
How are you? Tell me. Show me.
Oh. All over the world.
Awesome.
Wow. 41 countries. Fantastic. 800. Wow.
Would you like to sit? Would you like to stand? Would you like to walk?
Anyway, I'm fine.
You choose.
I'm fine. No, I go with you. I'm flexible. You know, I'm very adaptive. You know. Yeah.
Be a bamboo. You know the bamboo, the flexibility of bamboo. Be a bamboo.
And Bruce Lee say, "Be like water."
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Water can go everywhere and anywhere. So let's start with a question from those who are online, just to honor them because they're not here physically. How are you, my Doug? Radiant. Oh, I'd like to say something. Come here.
Uh-huh.
This one created this for Yoma. All the way from India.
Wow.
And he works a lot in Hawaii.
Yeah, I do.
And also, the funds that, thank you, the funds that come from, when he sells this is a gift, he didn't sell that, it's a gift, goes to children for schools.
Thank you so much for inviting. It's such a pleasure. Natasha is the one who actually introduced me with Sai Maa, and it's so wonderful, such an honor to be here. And I do a lot of shows in Hawaii, and whatever we make profit, we give it to the children in India for slums, so they don't have anything to do. So what we do, we raise funds and we give it to the children so they can have a good education. And we are trying to change the lifestyle and the generation because they are from the slum areas. They have not so many things that they can do it, but we try to do as much as we can to provide the kids. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody to come here, and thank you so much, Sai Maa. It was so wonderful to hear from you. It's so much knowledge, and thank you so much. It's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Now they all say, Ma, they're waiting for the flower in the hall. I say, which flower? You. And it's all you?
Thank you so much.
And he pressed it himself, he did everything?
It's an honor for me, so why not?
Oh. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. All right, who's ready?
Sai Maa, we have a question from Morella online.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Well, really, my question was
Australia.
before you came in, which was just to say how much I see the interaction between Ma's teaching and Dr. Mark's teaching, and how much I've understood more of both by the interaction, I think. And that will go on because I need to ponder on it. So I saw great depth and great courage too. And I feel great gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone in the hall have a question?
Sai Maa. I'm wondering if it would be possible for you to fix my deafness and that I could become hearing. Your presentation blew me away. It was kind of like gave me whiplash. It was very, very powerful. So amazing, doctor. Is it possible that you could fix my hearing? Yes?
You want me to answer that?
You may. I have my own answer.
Now, that is something to do with the brain and the auditory system. Okay, so obviously you need the brain and the auditory system, but of course we have to look at the ENT report, you know, we have to study it, and then we will do something. But to what extent we can do something also depends on the condition of the problem now. How long it has been there, you know, and we will study it. As long as there's a single chance to do something, there is some tissue that can be regenerated, then you can do something, you know. So we have to look into that because I do a lot on the ears, you know, and I do a lot on the eyes, you know. I'm quite positive we can do something. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm willing to
Yes.
fly here.
But first, please give me
It's a
your
report.
ENT report,
Yes.
the specialist report, you know, we call it the ENT report. Yeah, that is
Okay.
important, okay? And if you have a blood test report, I would like to know your current health condition. And what drugs are you taking at this moment?
And hormones, how important
Yes,
is hormone
yes,
in that?
yes.
The endocrine system.
Of course, apart from your hearing, the rest of the body, we can do something very well. Because once we look at the panel, we can do a lot of things. Yeah. I'll be happy to do something for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have a question from Elizabeth online. Question from Elizabeth online.
Sai Maa.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mike. Thank you, Ma, for bringing Dr. Mike. ADHD in children, success.
Yes.
Okay, great. When do you open in Naples? I'm ready to send all 3 children and myself and my husband.
I'm a case as well.
I think Naples can be a great center for ADHD, you know, autism, all kind of spectrum. And at this moment, I realize, I would say we are one of the best people for all this disorder, you know, because it's a brain disorder still. So it has to be fixed with the brain cells. Just have to analyze which part. So I have a medical questionnaire for ADHD children. We call them the functional test. I can send it to you,
Yes.
you know. So all you have to do is fill them up, and I would need 3 short video clips of the phone. You just shoot it on your child. You ask him a question. I want to know his response, how he answered it, and his reaction. They already show some elements of what level he is in, because there are many types of spectrums, you know.
Okay.
Yes. I'm very confident to fix ADHD. Very confident.
Actually, it's not that difficult.
No,
The
it's not.
moment we read
Yes.
what the
Yes.
person write back in their report,
Yes.
we know
Yes.
how to target them.
Yes, yes. It's just like any other people with brain disorder. Once you know from the MRI which part of the brain need to be repaired, all you have to do is to give that part. So most of the time it's a way of diagnosis. Are you giving the right diagnosis? Then the next thing is the right protocol and the prescription. So sometimes the physician will not get the result if he was given the wrong prescription. The patient will not get the results, you know. Yeah. Yes.
Question from someone in the hall. Yes, please.
Hello. Thank you for your presentation. My question is kind of the practical side. So it sounds like we need to get a certain test done or get a correct diagnosis, but would we go to you for that diagnosis, or what is the best way to get started on a peptide stem cell protocol for whatever our unique condition is? How do we start that? Do we have to fly to Germany or?
Don't fly right away. First you have to do your blood work, get reported. How are your organs conditioned? How is your brain? Then we study that and then send you information. We did give you the email, the website, we did give everything. We can post it again on the screen so that if somebody wishes to write it, place it back. So we study the case first, always.
And then do we receive treatment here, or do we have to travel for that?
Depending what is needed.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Now, just bear that in mind. All we need is the last 3 months blood work, you know, or your lab work, okay? And from there, we already know what is wrong to a certain extent. Of course, we have a medical questionnaire, a simple medical questionnaire where you, the patient, can fill it up because you know your history. So all you have to do is to fill that up, and it's good enough for us to assess. And if there's anything we need to go further, we will ask you certain things. If there's certain extra tests we have to go in, we have to go in, you know. So at all times, one of the things we always look into the lab work will be the cancer marker. You know, so if we see a very high cancer marker, then we have to analyze the situation to treat. So that is important too, you know. So it's easy. We need the lab work of the last 3 months. Don't give us 6 months because 6 months is long. It's too old. It's don't tell the current condition of your health. Your lab work, the blood test itself show a lot of things about your current health. Okay, and with the hormones test. Then with the medical questionnaire, we already know some history about you. You know, you could be allergic to certain food or whatever, everything comes in. So I will pass the medical questionnaire to the team here, you know, and we can't wait to have it in Naples. We can't wait to have it. And probably we were talking about autism. There's so many inquiries of autism in USA. I myself have treated a lot of autistic children in USA who went to Europe or Asia. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. And someone I saw in the question was asking, I only saw a mikechan.org, but there was another website. It's called European-wellness.eu. European-wellness.eu or .com. You will see a lot of information there. Okay.
We have a question online from Ellen.
Another question online. We'll do one online, one in the hall. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Wait a minute. Hold on.
We hear you. Oh,
Ellen, you just muted.
you just mute yourself.
I did?
Yes, you
Yes.
did. Now it's
Yes.
okay. Don't touch anything.
Okay. So, Dr. Mike, I am fascinated by everything that you're saying. I think I take very good care of myself, and I know I'm youthing. I would love to have you sort of check me out.
Easy.
This is my job.
Yeah.
I go through my and then check. But you send your blood work. That's what's most important.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will check
So-
you out. Yeah.
Okay,
The moment
thank
we have your blood test and the fill-up medical questionnaire, we basically can tell you your current health condition.
One thing I could do is give to all those who are attending this course
Yes,
exactly what we need.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I'll do that.
Yes.
That's my responsibility to all
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
Okay, question to the back.
Okay, why don't we go in order? Because it'll make it easier. I don't want to miss anybody. So let's, go row to row. Thank you.
Okay.
And then we'll do some here, some there.
JJ Sai Maa. I'm wondering, my son has cardiomyopathy, scar tissue in his left ventricle from the virus, and a patch that's at the beginning of an aneurysm. And I'm wondering if this could be helpful.
Yes. It will be very helpful because we can give the heart stem cells or the peptides. So if the condition is not that serious, the peptides may do the job. And the peptides is not expensive at all.
And easy to take.
Yes, yes. It can be done easily. And of course, if the child is too old, too young, then we can think of some sublingual.
15.
15?
15. It happened when he was an infant.
Yes. I'm confident I can do a lot of things for the heart. We wrote 2 books on the heart. 2 books of stem cells on the heart, I can even give you a PowerPoint on the heart, Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a favor to do.
Question from Brett online.
Yes, Brett.
Emma. Thank you, Dr. Mike. I have a question. I heard you say that autoimmune conditions may not be best treated with stem cells.
Yes.
And in line with Ma's teachings of working with the perfect body, what could we direct the perfect body to activate to treat autoimmune conditions then, if stem cells may not be the best approach?
Now, stem cell may not be the best approach for autoimmune, but still we have another therapy where we call it immunotherapy. I wrote a book on immunotherapy and done 8 publications, and a number of them was on cancer. Cancer is autoimmune. So I did treat a number of eczema or psoriasis or other patients like RA, And so it depends. And we have some solutions for autoimmune, of course. But again, it's not a cure, it's a control. If you can control autoimmune...
And it doesn't go further.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yes, yes.
It doesn't get
You don't
worse.
expect autoimmune to be a cure. There's no cure for autoimmune. But the body is such a wonderful system. After some time, it may disappear too. The autoimmune may disappear over a certain time. But before that, we have to put it under control so that the patient will not suffer. And I can send you some information.
The nanopeptide.
Yes. And I can send you some information on all this. All you have to do is send me a WhatsApp. And I think it's high time for us to create a group so everyone learns, you see? Because everyone is asking questions and we are answering. So some of us may have a common disorder, So why don't everyone is in the group of Sai Maa, questionnaire or whatever group, and then we will answer from there. So everyone can view the answer.
And eventually we can give little lecture every now and then.
So this can be turned into a simple Bible among the group, a reference all the time. Because sometimes people ask very general questions. What is the difference between these cells and that cells, So these general questions, once you understand it, you read it, the best thing is you read it and it went into your brain, you see. And let me tell you, and when you talk about diabetes, you talk about cancer, it can come to all of us here. 1 out of 4 would be a diabetic patient after 40. 2 out of 5 in America could be a cancer patient. Imagine 2 out of 5 is a huge figure. So having cancer is nothing unusual. It's a matter of knowing it at an early stage and treat them. The earlier you know, the better it is. So this is where you need a lab work early. After 50, you should be doing a lab work. If you ask my personal opinion, I would say you should do it every 8 months, and not a year, I do my lab work every 4 months. So I know a disease earlier, then I know what to do faster, If you know it later, you will spend more money at the end of the day too, So it's important to understand your health.
Hi.
Sai Maa. So my dad is older. He has Parkinson's. I haven't been involved at all in any of his medical care, so I can't give you any information. But he lives in Hawaii. So I guess my question would be, what resources do you have? Would Japan be something that he should do? Or if he needed to go to a physical place after giving you the information, is Japan the closest place?
No, you can go to Japan, you can go to Europe, you can go to Greece, Athens. We have a medical center in Athens. Of course, you can come to Malaysia,
Okay.
And I even told Her Holiness Sai Maa here, when she asked me about the different places we have, I would still say Malaysia is one of the best places. Okay. It's not because I'm a Malaysian there, but because...
May I interrupt here?
Yes.
Here's the reason. In Malaysia, you have the lab for the cells. It is injected directly in you right there. It doesn't travel 5 hours, 10 hours, 14 hours. Because remember, these cells are like very, very delicate petal of a flower. They age like this.
Yes, especially brain cells.
So you wish, when you know you have to deal with brain, go to Malaysia. That's what I say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So get the diagnosis, we can do that from afar, and then if he needs
Yes.
treatment, then there's
Yes.
options.
Yes, you can send the neurologist report for us to analyze, because we have our neuro team. And you go to the website of us, we have at least 2 Parkinson patients there. You know, you will like what we are doing.
You
very
can spend much time on the website just to learn about yourself and those you wish to, for them to receive treatment.
We even have an academy called European Wellness Academy, you know. Education is free. We're giving a lot of lectures there too. I think you can also go there. Now, please bear in mind, I'm contactable all the time. My job is to do education, and education from me is free. We don't charge for education.
Not only education is free. Doctor give training to doctors, to the medical world, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a doctor, surgeon, completely free.
Free. Okay. We don't charge for that. We just want to make the world a better place to live in, you know. Yes.
This is the beauty of this being, for me to see how he constantly wished. You know how much I constantly wish for you to be in an enlightened place, no matter at what level, is the same here. How he would say to me, how do I enhance people's life? How do I enrich? How do I make them healthy? I say, I feel like I'm hearing myself. If you will hide this person and he speak, I say, this is my brother. Because so many things are the same. It's not about us making money. He's not greedy, or else he will not be here with me right now. It's all about you. Everything he does is about you. And this is what I appreciate, really appreciate.
Thank you.
That.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Welcome. Online?
Online, we have a question from Adina.
Adina.
Hi.
I'm wondering, I have a condition, or been diagnosed with a condition called myasthenia gravis, and I'm wondering if you have any history, or if you've worked with that before. I've been through, I think I did a couple years of peptide therapy and exosomes and NAD and supplements, and none of that actually has made a difference. I'm currently on immunosuppressants. I started those a few months ago, and those are actually helping. But I also know they can be kind of hardcore drugs as well, and I don't necessarily want to stay in that world.
This is important, because liver, kidneys are being taxed through that.
Yes. I'm confident that we can do something for you here. I'm confident in that sense. Of course, again, we have to look at the current condition of you, you know. So you can fill up the medical questionnaire, and from the lab work, we will analyze everything, and then we give you an opinion, you know, an opinion or a suggestion or a recommendation, where we will do for every doctors. I have 1,000 WhatsApp a day from doctors all over the world. That explains why in my time, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. is US time. So I'm dealing with a lot of American doctors, a few hundred of them. So they always come up with questions. And when I say 12 a.m. is my Malaysian time when I'm in Malaysia. You know, so that's why I only sleep after 6 a.m. in the morning. And office starts at 9:30. So it's quite a taxing world in a way. But if you look at stress as a challenge, then you won't be stressed. If you're going to say, this is stress, this is stress, this is stressful, then you'll be a stress. Okay, then it will change your mood. It will change everything. Cortisol will be in the body. But you say this is a challenge. Wow, I have this. It's a challenge. Let me think of a solution. And you found a solution, and that is different. That will bring out all the happiness in you, you know. So I'll be very happy to look into your condition. Please send me a WhatsApp or whatever. And I think we have to work something with Her Holiness team here. We create a group. So we channel through that group. Correct. It's easier. Correct. You know, because you have an American team, and we will go with that. Then it will be easy for everyone. Because whoever is having a certain disorder, He will come to some other person too in the hall here. Or,
Every question serves
yes,
everybody.
Yes.
Every
So
answer
I'm very
serves.
confident I can do something. I can do something. Okay.
And in your case, Adina, what I will suggest is really get your latest result. If you did a blood work, let's say 2.5 months ago, do one now.
Yes.
In your case, I would prefer the freshest, not even 3 months.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm headed actually in a couple of weeks to Mayo Clinic for a week, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or perspective on that. I have really run through the gamut of natural medicine and been doing that for the last 4 years, kind of at a point where I just want to explore all the different options. Do you have any thoughts or advice, perspective on that?
Obviously, I would say we have in that sense because we are dealing with biological regenerative medicine.
Which is different.
It's different. You
the
don't have this in
supplement you're
USA.
taking,
We have this in
etc.
Europe all the time. The Germans are good with all this, you know. So this is where we come in a big way, and this is holistic way of treating. You know, in USA you may call it alternative, but in Germany it's quite a mainstream. It's a mainstream in Germany, so it's different. Because in Germany, all the doctors are conventional doctors too. It's just like any doctors in USA. It's just that they also have their other form of medicine. They call it biological medicine. And this is what we are good at, you know. And of course, along with the biological medicine, we are good with regenerative medicine, which is, at this moment, one of the popular trend of doctors moving into regenerative medicine, and stem cell is part of regenerative medicine. The word is regenerative. That means you are regenerating your organs too. You know, I'm very positive there's some solution in Europe. If certain therapies cannot be done in US, then you don't have a choice. You have to come to Europe or you come to Asia. But there are always solutions. It's a matter of whether how good is the solution for the problem. I would say there always are solutions unless the patient is in the terminal stage. When you're terminal stage, you can't do anything, you know, because terminal means
you can't even travel.
You can't. It's too risky, okay? Of course, we have been treating patients who can't travel too. So then we have to think of another solution of how to reach to the patient or the patient to reach to us. There are always solutions.
One thing about Professor, he also traveled to the patients, which I say no to him most of the time, because he has to travel from Malaysia to LA to inject. Not only the cell has aged in the meantime, and a flight is delayed, a flight is canceled, but also his time and energy to go to the patient.
But when you have to save lives sometimes, okay, sometimes you have to do a little bit sacrifice to save the life of a person.
And mostly when it has been patient who the family has known you.
Yes, yes.
But this is exceptions. These are exceptions.
And we will not take up any case if we don't have a confidence to treat. We will not take up any case if I think that there's no solution on our side, because it will be unfair for the patient to come up with money and they don't see the results. So I don't do that at all.
And your blood work will go through a team, a whole team. Yes. I've met them, I've been with them. Yes. I would not bring somebody for your health that I care so much on your cells if I didn't do all this research and homework on my side. Please be aware of that.
We always have specialists in our team. Let's say a person with a liver cancer. So you need a hepatologist, but you also need a neurologist. So this is how we go. And for a general patient, it always depends. I will always ask for opinion of 5 to 6 doctors. I don't want to ask for opinion of only one doctor. If you have 5 or 6 brains to analyze a situation, it's different. You may have 5 doctors giving different protocols, but there are also similar protocols in some of them. So if everyone is talking about the same thing, then obviously you have to use that. Again, for those who have indifferences, then we have to discuss about among ourselves. Why you do this? Why you don't want to do this? This is our way of discussion among our medical team, you know. So we work as a team, as a very big team, in fact, you know. Yeah.
Thank you.
So there is solution, there is hope, okay?
All right.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Good evening.
So my father has a brain condition. Seems to be he has micro, I don't know how to say that in English, I forgot the word. But it's losing his mental capacity slowly and more every time I talk to him. And I wonder, I guess you already answered the question, but he lives in France, and would it be possible for him to have a treatment or something that could help? He's very sad with his condition.
Germany will be perfect place.
Yeah. You can have it in Germany or Switzerland, or Greece.
Yeah, and he speaks German, so he would be able to, to communicate.
We have a 100-year-old hospital in Germany. I'm the owner of the hospital, together with my wife. And we only do biological treatments, or we call it integrative. When you use the word integrative, that means you use a conventional method, you use a biological method, you use the regenerative, everything is combined.
With a systematic system to combine.
To me, what is more important in life for the patient? As long as you don't harm the patient, and there are some contribution or helpful situation for the patient. So it doesn't bother me if Ayurveda or TCM or other solution which is added into the method. Because if it's going to help the patient, you don't cause any interaction. That is the solution we want to, On my side, when we use the word biological medicine, we try to take away drugs as much as possible. We don't want you to rely on the drugs. Because drug is only treating the symptoms. It never solves the root. Let's say you're on statins, you're taking statins every day.
Anybody take statin every day? Yeah.
I mean, I'm just giving you an example, okay? So we want to make a solution where you don't have to rely on a drug over time. So you must find the root. If we can treat the root, then you don't have to worry about the symptoms. So you must find a solution of the root. The basis of biological medicine is to treat the root and not the symptoms. That is the way to cut away the drugs on the long term. Relying on the drug on the long term is also a damage to your kidney and your liver, especially your kidney,
Online, we have a question from Carolyn.
Yeah. Okay.
Sai Maa. I have a question about whether stem cells can be used with bone and tendons.
Of course.
After a surgery.
100%.
If a surgeon has altered it's a hand, if it has altered the body.
Yes, obviously. You see, when you have an injury, or you have our post-operation, you need the placenta to do the wound healing. Placenta is a wonderful wound healer. There's a lot of publication on all this, I spend a lot of time on placenta. But again, we are talking about the bone. Then you have to give the bone for bone. And bear in mind, all of us, especially the woman, osteoporosis come in. You're losing a lot of bones here. And as we age, the bone, the lumbar will disintegrate, and then 3 bones will become 1 bone, So these are all coming in. So you need the bone. So when you say you want to become younger, you must have a good bone mass. Even your teeth is losing bone. You're doing a tooth implant, you realize the lower jawbone don't have enough bone, and you have to do a bone grafting, to implant a teeth. So that means to say you are losing bone mass all the time. You become lighter as you age too. Yeah.
Can it be used with children too? There's no...
Of course it can be used for children, yes. But why do you need the bone for the children, unless you have
He had an accident and then had tendon graft surgery, but the surgery didn't completely heal the hand.
Yes. I just give you a simple example. I have Dr. Ern, who is Chief Scientist of Life Extension. He's part of my team. And one day, that was 3 years ago before the COVID, it's just before the COVID, he fell down from the staircase down to the floor. And he's around 80 years old. So he broken his ribs. So he went to the hospital to fix his ribs. He was in ICU and he recovered. And the first thing he contacted me, as I say, Ern, you have to do something. I will send you the placenta to speed up the wound healing, but I will send you the bone. You broke your ribs. So I did that for him, and it works wonderfully well. And he's 80 years old, you can imagine, So you can do for 80 years old. Obviously, for a younger person, you regenerate faster when you're young. It's just like your skin. Your skin will regenerate every 28 days when you're young, but when you're older, it won't be 28 days. It'll be much longer, okay? I can do something, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So inspiring, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone from this side of the room, please.
Yeah.
Stand up, please. Stand up, please.
Thank you. Yes, you mentioned a case of cerebral palsy in your
Yes.
slides.
Yes.
How much is your experience with cerebral palsy, and is it applicable only to young children or to adults as well?
Okay. Now, we all know cerebral palsy mostly is happened to lack of oxygen and delay in the child coming out from the mother. Okay, again, in cerebral palsy, you have 3 different types of cerebral palsy. So in my stem cell book, there is a chart on cerebral palsy. And not many people can treat cerebral palsy. It's obviously a brain disorder. So again, we have to look at which part of the brain and how old is the child. So when you come with an adult who is already 50 years old on cerebral palsy, it's difficult to treat. Again, but we are talking about a child who is 8 years old or 9 years old, obviously it's easier to treat. Okay? So we really have to look into the condition. Okay? But again, with cerebral palsy, let's say you're a 50-year-old, you have a 50-year-old patient with cerebral palsy. He's also aging. So we also have a series of other problems along the way. So even by just giving the brain cells, we are also doing a revitalization of the brain to a certain extent. Of course, we have to treat the other organs too. We treat the whole organ as a whole. We don't treat only one part of the problem. We have to fix the whole problem because it's a domino system here. The 12 systems are synergized as one. So if one part have a problem, like a football team, one of the players got a red card, the whole team is gone. They will lose the match, obviously, most of the time, you know. So this is, I've been treating a lot of cerebral palsy. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Online, we have a question from Michelle.
Okay. Hi.
Michelle, you're muted.
You're muted, Michelle.
Not on my end. I'm not.
Okay, now we hear you.
now.
Yes.
Thank you very much. My question is, I had a significant damage to my nervous system and the nerves going down the legs. I have no reflexes in the knees or the ankles. And this can be regenerated, damaged nerve roots?
Yes, if you give the stem cells on the nerves, but again, we have to analyze, we have to study your problem. What causes the nerve problems, you know?
Right.
Is it due to diabetes or some other problems, you know?
No, it's not a thing. It's from an accident 30 years
Yes,
ago.
an accident. So we have to understand, we have to look into the studies. I mean, you have a neurologist report on this, you know, we have to see the damage is on which part, you know, and we will try to find a solution. Of course, we can fix something, but to how well is the treatment, it works for you, we also have to analyze and give you an opinion, you know, before you decided to do something.
In the future, I understand, you know, that this is very exciting medicine, especially for younger people. But what I'm trying to get at is, maybe it's a concept in my head that nerves are wires. And once
it is the wires
damaged,
yes,
significantly, and been that way for 30 years now, you know.
Stop, Michelle, stop.
Okay.
Imagine we take nerves and place in the nerves here in the body. Remember, your thoughts heals or create more wounds in your system. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's why I hesitate to even mention all of this.
yes. Of course, I mean, you have to do a replacement, and that's what you're doing. It's just like your brain. Your brain is have all the neurons. When you are a child, you start to expand everywhere. It's just like the wires or the root of the trees, right? The trunks of the trees. But as you age, they become lesser connection. So this is cut off, that is cut off. It's the same situation here, okay? That is part of aging. That is part of, when you are mentioning an accident, so obviously it was something which was by the accident. So we have to analyze carefully.
And
would-
analyze
yes.
the whole body.
Yes. we
It's
have
not
to
only the nerves,
Yes.
the whole body,
The whole
where it's
body.
coming from.
Yes.
How can we, sometimes you have something in your knee, but we may treat something in a vertebrae, and it's healed.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
And somebody like you who knows the knowledge, you also have a very strong mind. You can reverse a few things yourself. The thing is that for years, you have placed in your system, this has been damaged and it's damaged.
Everything can be repaired and regenerated as long as you have living tissues. That includes dying tissues. The word is dying, it will die over time. But if you can turn the dying tissues, which have living tissues in it, to be regenerated, they become live tissues. So that's how regeneration takes place in the organs. As long as there's living, any part of living tissues, you can regenerate. If you have scar tissue, that means dead tissue, there's nothing you can do anymore.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just bear that in mind. That is regenerative medicine. Yeah.
Okay, one more question here.
Thank you.
Oh, we haven't taken any on this side, so we have
Okay.
one.
question.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Well,
The
thank
more
you.
I answer,
Thank
the
you,
more
thank you,
lively I become. You know?
Well, your generosity, enthusiasm, compassion is just wonderful. Thank you. My question is about just the actual process of harvesting or growing the stem cells. How does that happen? How do you do that?
Can you repeat the question?
The process of gathering the stem cells. How do you gather them or grow them, or where do they?
Oh, yes. Stem cells can be cultured. Okay? We call it harvest. Okay? It can be cultured.
11 to 14
Yes.
days.
We, in our patented process, where we learned from the Soviets, we culture them for 11 to 14 days. Yes. Now, why do you need to culture the cells? Because you culture the cells, you improve on the quality of the cells. And again, in our technical process, our IP, I told you that in my lecture that we are going to isolate the right cells out. Just say for the liver, I say 75 cells, but the liver is a dustbin, they have all the rubbish cells there. You don't need the rest of the cells. You only need the hepatocyte to repair the liver. So this is where during the culture, we will isolate the liver, the hepatocyte cells, and make an environment where the rest of the cells will die. So this is our years of learning from the masters, and our team has perfected something here, where we are probably the only one in the world who do this at this moment. So I sincerely think we are the only ones who can do this at this moment. There's no one in US who are able to do what we are doing here, Yeah. So they can be cultured. Of course, in FDA, FDA don't like culturing here. Okay, I have to be honestly telling you too. I'm very open. But again, we cannot look at just the rules of FDA in USA. So if a patient is we need to save life. If the patient has to get out of USA, then they have to go out of USA to do the treatment. So Panama for example, is one of those situations where you can go to Panama.
We'll talk about this. I'd like to create something in Panama City for you.
Yes. Of course, I've been to Bahamas, I've been to Antigua, I've been to a number of other places. I mean, these are places which are very open, even in Aruba, Yeah.
So if I could to culture it, so say you use rabbit, is it just like, how do you do that?
Okay, let's
no.
ask for another
No,
question.
you-
because
you-
I'd like,
yeah.
no, that's,
Okay,
let's get some question on this side. We're coming
Yeah.
to an end soon. Yes, because we do.
We took it from the organs anyway.
Greetings, and thank you for all of the information you share. And to have you both standing here, to be on both sides of it, the medical and the spiritual part, for me, is like an answered prayer. So my question or inquiry is more about what happens in the body after regeneration happens, because it's possible for the body to be regenerated with the stimulation of your treatments and the things that you guys have studied for years.
Let's take an example of an organ. Let's take an organ. Let's say kidney.
Or can we say brain?
Oh, brain.
The brain. Can you give me, because personally for me, I feel like my brain has regenerated in different ways. And my body is experiencing the regeneration. But I can't find any information to help me understand what the body goes through after the regeneration happens. Can you?
The first thing is the body's healthier.
Of course.
Now, of course, when you do a comparatives of 3 months later after the treatment, the parameters will show the improvements. That is already evidence. Do not believe everyone telling you, oh, you look much better, you look, I mean, this is a word, you know. So for people like us who are very technical and scientific, we want a comparison. So that is the reason why I asked for a last 3 months blood test report or pathological test or
And
lab
even
work.
the cells,
And
it
then you do a
takes 3
comparison.
months. Yeah.
You see? You must go back to the same lab 3 months later and give us the result. But before you show us your result, you probably is looking around already. You yourself is doing some comparison. You will see some improvements. As long as we give you the right combinations of the cells.
And also what's very important is that for all of you, the day you receive cells, don't do what I do or what doctor does, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what rest means.
You must rest before the cells. Okay?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I'm different because I'm the manufacturer. So I can get the cells anytime, any day. You know? It's different from the patient. The patient comes, they have to fly.
This is a key.
Yes.
You must rest. Imagine that these cells is like an infant. And here you are like, I'll go dancing if I get cells.
I injected the cells 1 day later, she was dancing. I took her out to eat, but she was dancing there. I didn't dance, but I was seeing her so lively there. She was so happily, and she was saying she feels so different.
Don't do that.
That is good. I mean, in a way, but yeah, the right way would be you rest. You have to understand, the cells have very high metabolic rate.
Mm-hmm.
They are turning like this. You know, it's like a child running with you.
So
The child runs
fast.
so fast, you know, and lasts so long. So when the cell is having a high metabolic rate, your body should be waiting to receive them. Your body is the host. The donor is coming in. And you are having a host cells coming in with high metabolic rate. You shouldn't do any exercise at all. You just wait. It's exactly like you are very hungry. You go to McDonald's. You took 3 burgers at one time. And then you take another one forcefully. Okay? And what happened?
And you go dancing with that.
You don't feel like walking anymore. You just lie down and digest it, you know. But instead, you still go and run and you're chasing a car or whatever appointment. Then it's different. You are going like this and the other one is going like this. So what will happen? What is the reaction?
This is a key to regeneration.
Yes. Your body will have hips, rashes coming in. It's an expression of the body rejecting it, you know. So that is my experience. I've been doing the cells every year for the last 30 over years. I'm always a guinea pig for anything new before I even test on the patient. So I have been doing the cells all the time, and there was one time I did 10 over patients, and then I did on myself. And then I took the last flight, 10 o'clock, and I arrived 1 a.m. in another place, and tomorrow morning I had to give 2 lectures. You know what happened? For the first time in my life, I start to have rashes. So that was the only reaction I have. So it already tell me that your body should be resting, accept the cells. So you must rest 1 or 2 days before, and after injecting the cells, rest another 2 days or 3 days. Now, rest doesn't mean you just lie down. Yes, you can lie down or you slow walk, you know, but it's around the house compound. Don't expose to the sun. You can still do reading. You can play with your phone. That is resting, you know, okay? It's not totally rest to sleep, okay? All right.
And this is not a joke. Really, please, the day any one of you, and stay in contact with me when you have to receive cells, because I'll guide you what to eat before, how to clean your system, how to clean your blood, how to take care of you before you receive this precious, precious cell in your body. And rest for a day or two,
Yes.
and then start your activities.
I would say Her Holiness Sai Maa has all the experience with the stem cells. She tried it, she knows it, and she feels it.
And I see it, I
yes.
see what it's doing.
Yes.
The thing is, I'm too active.
Yes.
That's the only thing I will say. I'll have to learn, like I have, you know that, I have to learn how to rest the body, but the night work is getting more and more intense.
Yes. But this last treatment she have with us, she knows how to take care of herself. She hides herself in the room.
I said,
you know? Yeah.
And I even think that anybody who has, my whole thing about teeth and gums, all of you know that whole thing. I even say to Professor, maybe we send a team of doctors to do the cells in their room. They stay in their room.
We can do that in Europe and Asia. We can do that because a number of clinics are inside the hotel, So it's not a problem to do inside the hotel. Of course, we have to send the doctor and the nurse up to the room. It's a simple implantation or injection on the gluteal area. It's not an invasive where you have to go surgery under OT environment. No. This is a non-invasive treatment. Okay. Yeah.
Easy, comfortable.
Yes. And with a good skill,
voila.
You don't feel the pain at all. Everything
Anything
is depend on the skill of the clinician.
One question more on this side,
Okay.
because yes, you've been waiting with the mic.
JJ Sai Maa, thank you so much for being here and for your service. My question was, you had mentioned, Dr. Mike, about boosting our immune system. Do you have something, I know that the treatments you do are very specific, like to like, but is there something like a sublingual peptide or something that you have that's available for generalized boosting?
Yes, we have some supplements with us, and it's on the website or mf3swiss.com. But again, if you want a fast one, you can take the timers. The timers during the COVID period, if you look at Amazon, the most saleable supplements in Amazon was timers. So if we give you our special timers, we are the world's largest manufacturer of timers. The world's largest. We supply raw materials to a lot of manufacturing company from our pharma plant in Germany, biopharma. So it will work wonderfully well to super boost your immune system, just like I am telling you myself. I never have a sick day lived in my 38 years career. That means I work every day. There's no single record of being sick. Even for after a 30 hours travel, let's say from US back to Malaysia, the first thing I reach the airport is the office. It's not home. Because I have to rush to the office to finish a lot of outstanding work, So as long as you keep your immune system in the best level, you're not afraid of infection. Why should you when you have a strong immune system? Even someone will cough near you or whatever, you have a strong immune system, it won't affect you. So you want to talk about COVID, you must have a strong immune system. My son was COVID positive. I have 3 sons. My eldest is 28. He's 28, he's married. He was eating with us with the family every day. Okay, we stay together, and with his wife. They were COVID positive for 3 days. And then on the third day, end of the third day, they say, Father, I am COVID positive. So I obviously jump up and say, why you tell me on the third day? You should be telling me on the first day, So you know what I did? I isolated him and sent him to another place. I told him you have to drive your car and go to another place and don't come back in a month's time. We will deliver whatever you need, on the doorstep. Then I check among ourselves, my wife, my mates, I have 2 mates, I check everyone. I even check on my own dogs, because our dogs is inside the house. I have 15 dogs inside the house, and we play around. So none of us are infected. So it's a matter of how you take care of yourself and understand your system. So this is what we want here, You must understand your own body better than anyone else. You could understand it even better than your own doctors, because you know. So there are supplements. That is the timers. If I give you the timers of the spleen, even by oral or by injection, it works very well.
Everybody, what Doctor is saying here, every single one of you, because I work with your cells, I work with your DNA, your genome system, I know what you need. Spleen and thymus is a must for the whole planet.
Yes. They produce the lymphocytes. You need that. Bear in mind, after 65, you don't have a thymus. So there's no production of T cells anymore.
Yes.
Always bear that in mind. That's why cancers comes in.
So
fast.
is that one supplement, thymus for the spleen?
Yes, thymus. You can write to me, I will
take thymus and spleen together.
Yes.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Welcome. I like to see Professor rest a few minutes before he jump in a car to go to
No
airport.
worry, no worry. I'm accelerating now. I can go faster, you know. Yeah, I'm heated up now. When you're heated up, you become lively, you know. You enjoy talking, you know. I can talk for days and days. I don't have problem with stamina. I have very good stamina. Because when you have the passion, you will never be tired. So we must do everything with a passion and devotion. I do things with devotion. I always do something which I like. I always believe you must also go with your heart in everything you do. And that's me, you know. And I stay away totally from something I don't want to do. And I will not speak at all if I'm something which I'm not familiar with, because it's not my forte. But if you want to talk about the cells or the stem cells, that is my life. I really love what I'm doing very much. It is really alive for me. Okay? Thank you. 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 I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see all of you here. I see the energy Her Holiness has been vibrating here for all of us. Okay? We want a good, healthy life for all of us, for ourselves and for our family, and for our community at the same time. So we must awaken the aging cells, and even the senescent cells, we have to take it out from the body.
This is my next step for all of you.
Yes. Because as you age, you have senescent cells. Cells are programmed to die over a certain time. But some of these old cells never die. So they remain there and create a factor, a situation where they will pull the other cells to go along with them.
Inflammation.
So we must take them off. Because all of us after 40 have inflammation. None of us can say we don't have inflammation in the body. And if someone will tell me, I'm totally healthy, I'm 45, I do not believe in that. Because your organs all have a lifespan. The only way is we have to repair the organs, you know. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Now, today we spoke about the senescent cells,
Yes.
and you said to me, okay, I'm going to see with my team what I can create.
Yes, I'm very positive I can do something there. I'm
And
very
when
positive.
it comes out, make sure you all get the
Yes.
news.
You will like what I'm doing very much, but I will do it with scientific facts because I know we will be challenged. So the only way to accept the challenge is we have to do proper research and prove it among ourselves, where we have to test with animals in the lab before we even test on humans.
And I'm ready to be a guinea queen.
Okay.
I need, because I can see them.
Yeah.
So then.
Both of us will do it together.
Oh.
Okay? Then we have a feel of it, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
What about if we chant for 10 minutes and the doctor leaves with all this energy of your devotion, your heart? Yes? Please, sir.
Yeah? No, you. Let me. You.